reconciliation and peace in our hearts. This day, we are grateful to you for this very moment you have granted to all of us. The pandemic has locked us down.
Presence this afternoon, and the Kohima Club also welcomes you to the 4th Kohima Super Cup 2020. I would also like to welcome all the invitees, even though I may not be able to mention everyone, and also to everyone who are present here this afternoon. I, on behalf of the Kohima Town Club, would give my regards and appreciation to all those people who make this occasion a reality and this football tournament successful. This could not have been possible without the sheer contribution of all of you. We all are a part of this football tournament.
Songwriter Miss Virius Solo, popularly known as Virius Solo. Miss Solo, the stage is all yours.
Our 4th edition after a hiatus of 2 years due to the COVID-19 lockdown. This year, KTC's theme is on making football a sustainable industry. This is a very, very tall order, a very big challenge to all football club owners and organizers everywhere, not only in Nagaland, but also in India. It is very, very difficult to make football a very sustainable industry. But we took the challenge and we have done some research how to make football a sustainable industry in Nagaland. To make it to the top, to reach, to come up to national level, we must make football a sustainable industry. And how? Let me show you a few steps how to do it. For football to be a sustainable industry, we must take the game to the community. Every family needs to support their players. Every family needs to become a unit of the club. Every colony, every club must have a rich well-wisher and patrons to financially support. To make football a sustainable industry, we must build a fan base and a die-hard football lover base. And to do that, we must produce some quality players, quality local stars. Our local stars also must be very disciplined and very dedicated, and they should not demand for high fees. To make football a sustainable industry in Nagaland, there are some challenges. We don't have many big industries, many big companies to sponsor us. So in the absence of all these big industries to sponsor us, the main responsibility falls back on the government. The government should help the organizers and clubs owners, since there's not so many rich people who can support us. And if the government can do that and also pressurize corporates, big companies, at least some small companies are there in Nagaland. If the government can pressurize them to help the organizers as well as the club owners, I think together we can all make football a sustainable industry. And one
As I've said, even though I'm not a football player, I'm an ardent follower of football and cricket also. As sports as such, in schools, I played basketball, and in Loyola, like in the high school, I played a lot of hockey, where the school used to represent the junior, the state in the junior Nehru Cup. I, for one, I was selected as the second goalkeeper of the hockey team also. But then when I reached class 10, when I got the chance, since we were going to appear metric, our principal disallowed me to participate. So I've missed a chance, but it was no regrets. As sports, I picked up badminton only in the year 2009, where a senior late PM Zeleng, he was the commandant. He forced me to play badminton. So just to set out, I started playing, and even today, it's a good game to keep you physically as well as mentally fit. So I feel privileged to be among the football players and football lovers. So I felt very happy just now when our president of the town club, Kohima Town Club, said that their team, the aims and objective is to take football to the community. It is very true that Nagas are ardent football lovers, but then sustenance as such is not there. It is not our fault also. It is the fault of our circumstances where we don't have firms to sponsor or to sustain the game. Number of players in the ISL. So they are making a living out of it. But as we Nagas, what we find now is like we make it a part-time job or part-time thing, like where we pass time seasonal game sports where we play during the winters. But then it is high time that we also try our best and try to get engaged in the national level or even up to the international level. So as our president has highlighted the aims and objectives, we all should take it seriously, and then we all should try to upgrade the standards of the players. Here I would like to request the organizers, that is our Kohima Town Club, to identify young upcoming players and approach the government. It is not just the individual ability, but what I personally think is that you need exposure. Like maybe we have some of the best players, but they never get exposures and get noticed. So unless you are exposed, the big clubs in the country or even internationally, you don't get noticed. So you are just here at the local state level. So to get exposures, what I feel is like identify certain upcoming promising players, then approach the government to sponsor them to join some academies in the big cities so that they get noticed and not only gaining fame and income for themselves, but to bring name to the state as well as to encourage the next generations to come. So I humbly feel that it is even though it's the 4th edition, the aims and objectives of the present team of the Kohima Town Club is ambitious, and I wish them all the best. And as I've said, like, even though I'm not a football player, I all want you to include me as one of the patrons. You can include me as a lifetime patron in your club. So, thank you very much. And then, as I've come here, I would like to just share 1-2 personal commitments with all of you present here. We Nagas, as of now, we say we are Nagas. Now, I wanted every one of us to work and contribute to foster for the unity of the Nagas. As we find now, with the world, in certain ways, we are advancing, or for that matter, I used to say that we Nagas, we are very backward in development. but we are very fast and very good in imitation, either in fashion or any other things. We jump from here to there. It is not a development of like developing by stage by stage. So, as a society as of now today, it is very painful to see that any small incidents tend to take tribal colors. That's what I notice even in my profession. Down the Chukradita, all of Jagadura say, it so happens they belong to different tribes or different communities. What tribal line they jaya? So I wanted to impress upon every individual who are present here today, like to do away with that. A society is composed by individuals, so it is the duty of every individual to do away with that, to foster friendship, unity among the different communities, the different tribes, the different communities in Kohima or elsewhere in Nagaland or even to the extent of in the country. Let's try to do away with this tribalism or factionalism among the communities. So I feel that as footballers belonging to different clubs, different organizations, it is a platform where you can foster unity, brotherhood, friendship among the Naga communities as well as with the other communities which are living in our state. So it is one of my ardent requests that each and every individual, let's all try to do away with these isms among ourselves. Then my last point I wanted to share with you is that it is not that I'm discouraging you, but I feel that as our president has already said, like sustenance is not there. So as footballers, don't take it like it is just a part-time sports that you enjoy. That is also fine. But then how to survive? Whether this football, playing football will make you survive as a person, to support your family. So we should all go back to the roots. Nagas are now paper-wise, there are lots of educated people. But then maybe government, we all go for white-collar jobs. And government jobs, I don't think we can accommodate even 1% of the graduates of Nagaland. So when I get time, I used to share in different platforms, especially in my area. Like, go back to the roots, where we come from. That is agree and related sectors. Like, as an educated person, you should be a better farmer. As an educated person, you should be a better business person. So when we have especially for the villages or the community in and around Kohima and Dimapur, or for that matter, in and around the district headquarters, we have that easily available market for local consumption. So why don't we grow all types of vegetables, all types of fruits? Why don't we rear chickens? Why don't we rear pigs? Or why don't we rear goats or cows? We only look for white-collar jobs. For example, a single tree of papaya can give you at least 1,000 rupees in a year. In the market, it is now, the big ones are 150 rupees. Even the smaller ones, you won't get it less than 50, 60 rupees. Or bananas, or oranges, where I find our northern villages are doing very well. I go to Kevithuto,
Kohima Super Cup 2022. In this fourth edition of Kohima Super Cup, we have 17 teams vying for the trophy of Kohima Super Cup, along with cash prize. The teams participating in this fourth edition of Kohima Super Club are Newmarket FC, Crimsoune Club, Highlanders FC, Second Rate United, Hurricane Boys, Kasama United Football Club, Central Football Club Academy, IGS 11, G Sports, Barang Football Club. The champion will be richer by 1.80 lakhs. The runner-up will pocket a cash prize of 1.20 lakhs. The two semi-finalists will be awarded rupees 30,000 each. We also have individual prizes in the category of best goalkeeper, best defender, best midfielder, highest scorer. Each of these individuals will be awarded rupees 10,000 each, and the player of the tournament will be richer by 25,000. The organizer also intend to award the best coach and the referee. The amount will be decided in the later stages of the tournament. Playing in the inaugural match, we have New Market Football Club taking on the Crimsoune Club of Kohima. New Market Football Club playing in green jersey, green short, and green Kevithuto Pesier, holding Mount Thong Song. Kevithuto Meza, Lima Kung Zukao, Nipong Mark, Fritomero, Gidon Leo, Singlo. The officials conducting the inaugural match of the first ever Kohima Super Cup are Michael Du,
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5.
Thank you. You may please sit down.